Welcome to Subramani. You're seeing me in a different attire, you're seeing me in a different location. This is a friend's office converted into a studio. I'm still in Kodaikanal and we're doing a small investor meet here. Sorry, I took, that's pretty unnecessary for you, I guess. I'm going to talk about annuities, or rather why in India we are forced to take annuities, which is perhaps the most inefficient vehicle to get back your own money and pay tax on your own money coming back to you, right? So it's a very inefficient way of investing, so to say. But let us look at the fact that we don't have too many options. What are the options available to a 65-year-old or a 60 to 65-year-old wanting to ensure that even at 95 he keeps getting something, or even at 105 he keeps getting something, because you have no clue how long you will live, and in a product where there is not too much of application of mind. So what I could do, let us assume that at 65 I am perfectly capable of creating my own portfolio, and I sit with my advisor and sit and do it. If I had, let us assume for a minute, India had a very, very efficient debt market, which had not only government debt, PSU debt, but also good quality top corporate debt. The Tata Motors, Tata Steel, JSW, right now in a very steelish mood, and Indian Oil, BPCL, HPCL, Reliance and Tata Motors. Let us assume that all these companies were forced to borrow money from the market directly, and they were not getting any bank loans. Bank loans were completely denied to them. Let us for a minute have this fantasy. What will happen is you will have, let us say, Larsen and Toubro yield curve. You will have a 30-year Larsen and Toubro bond at 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, or at least you will have 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, all those bonds. You could plot it and you could arrive at the Larsen and Toubro yield curve. You could arrive at the Tata Motor yield curve. You could arrive at, let us for a minute even assume TCS yield curve, assuming that they borrow. Of course they don't, right? Or a PNG yield curve, Colgate yield curve. You could have all those yield curves and you could compare, saying where there is risk, where there is no risk. And let us assume again for a minute, GSEC zero coupon bonds are also available across all maturities. What I would do at the age of 65, assume again that 40-year bonds are also available. I would go and buy a 35-year-old bond, assuming I live till the age of 100, and I will buy a 35, 34, 33, 32. I will do bond laddering. Why? What is the advantage on this kind of bond laddering is the maturity will be treated as a capital gain, right? So I have the advantage of not getting regular income from the zero coupon bond, but I know exactly how much I will get, and it will be treated as capital gains the day I get it. So I can do a bond laddering, which I will start getting maturity, say from my age of 85. So I have bonds maturing, say in 20 years. So at 85, 86, 87, 88, every year I'll have a bond maturity. Let us say I put 25,000 rupees and it becomes 50,000, or it becomes say 1 lakh or 2 lakhs. I'm not calculating the interest. So I know that at the age of 85, I'm going to get 1 lakh with that bond, and maybe I require 10 lakhs. So I will buy 10 such bonds. So I will buy this every year, or every 3 years or 5 years. I'll keep doing this. This is more efficient than an annuity. Unfortunately, we don't have a good secondary bond market, so this product is out. So what can I do? I can put into a let's say a long-term income fund, or something like that, or even a gilt fund. But the problem is these funds will fluctuate. The gilt will fluctuate. If interest rates are high when you invest, looks good, but when interest rates go down, you will make losses. You may not bail out when the losses are made, but a portfolio will show a loss, and that could scare you. The other thing you could do is you could create bank fixed deposits maturing after 20 years, 25 years, 27 years, whatever. You could theoretically do that, but that is very inefficient because the income from that is being taxed regularly in your hands. So at 65 you may not want so much of income to be income tax to be paid. So you may say, I don't want so much of income because I don't want to pay tax on so much of income. Why create a 25 lakh rupee income at the age of 65 when my requirement is only 5 lakhs, right? So I want only 5 lakhs of income. Actually, I want only 5 lakhs of cash flow. Going forward, I may decide to meet some of my cash requirement from the income or some from selling of some inflated asset. I bought some share at 17 rupees, today it is 530, and just because the market is booming and I think every day the price will keep going up, I am not selling those shares. I may make a far more judicious way of saying, I have X number of shares of this company, every year I will sell 200 shares or 300 shares. Exactly like how you did a SIP when you were accumulating, you will do an SWP in parts of your portfolio. You may not do it in your whole portfolio. You may decide that if this company shares, let's say I've got 30,000 shares of this company, I will sell 100 shares every month to meet my household expenses. That also can be a way of meeting your household expenses, right? And the share is selling at 50 rupees. So at 300, at 100 shares, if you sell, you'll get 5,000 rupees. So you say, I'll sell 200 shares, I'll get 10,000 rupees. That will meet a part of my household expenses, which are about 25,000-30,000 rupees now. As and when my expenses increase, if the share price increase, well and good, or I may sell more of my shares, but I have to do a drawdown of my portfolio also, and I don't have to do a full drawdown of my equity portfolio in the same month. I can do partially. I can say I will sell Wipro because it is fully priced, or I think it is overpriced, but I will not sell, say, Vodafone Idea because I think it's pathetically priced. So parts of my portfolio can be used. So yes, I can use parts of my portfolio. I can use bond laddering. I can use fixed deposits to do bond laddering, or I can use G-Secs to do bond laddering. Unfortunately, the markets are not so great and so efficient. So if you want to do 15,000 and 20,000 rupees G-Sec transactions, it may not be very efficient. PSU, private sector bonds for 30-year, 20-year, 10-year maturity is not available. You may have ETFs available, you may have bond funds available, but they are not good because there is a mark-to-market loss which you could incur in a wildly fluctuating interest rate scenario. If interest rates are going to be one-sided, going down or going up, it is easy, but even in that, over a 2-3 month period, it could fluctuate. So you are not very clear. Another very important thing, what I like about annuity is, yes, it is tax inefficient, yes, the yields are low, but there is simplicity. It's easy to understand. So at 55, I may understand differently. At 65, I may understand differently. At 75, I may panic more, right? I may not be in full control of my emotions. My spouse may not be too keen to participate in this, and she'll say, as long as you're there, you handle. After that, I will see, right? So she may want a simple portfolio. The annuity fits into all this very well. So if you want to create a cash flow for somebody who is very clearly not keen on managing their money and they don't have anybody, let's say a childless couple, they know that they don't have anybody to manage it for them, or even participate in the management, need not manage, but at least participate. Talk to your chartered accountant while filing the return and saying, can this be done? You may not be in control of all those faculties of yours by the time you're, say, 87, 88. I know 80-year-olds who do puts and calls. I know, but this is so very difficult. I know 68-year-olds and 70-year-olds who are completely not capable of looking after themselves. And I know a 96-year-old, repeat, 96-year-old who is perfectly capable of looking after herself. She takes baths, she washes her clothes, she finds it difficult, and she is reasonably keen to do her own cooking, but she is not being allowed because she can't hear, her sense of smell has gone down, so the family doesn't allow. But there may be some 69-year-old who does not want to go into the kitchen because she gets tired or he gets tired, right? So for each person it has to be very different. Unfortunately, in India the number of options which are available are small. So if you are not if you're a 50 lakh portfolio, yes, you have a senior citizen savings scheme and Varishta Bima Yojana, but if you have got 50 crores and you want to invest it, the number of products which are available are quite limited. You can't do bond laddering and all because enough zero coupon bonds are not available. So given all these circumstances and with simplicity, etc., you may use an annuity, and so that's it. So what are the options available? You have a choice of between annuity and annuity. You may choose an annuity. That's all. Not because it's great, because there's no choice. Thank you.